How can you make trading your main source of income? Many people who have come across this topic, especially those who have already made money from trading, start thinking in this direction. Now let's try to figure out together whether it's really possible for an ordinary worker to switch completely to trading and make it their primary income. Let's dive in. And at the end of the video, we'll go over together what you need to work as a full-fledged trader. And do you even have the opportunity to start trading at all? Let's get into the video. But if you don't have any experience yet, or you have a lot of questions, I recommend reaching out to our managers. I'll leave a link to their account in the description and in the pinned comment. These guys will help you get started with trading and, accordingly, start earning from it. We have quite a lot of experience. We've already helped many people switch completely to trading as their main source of income. So if you have any questions, just message our managers directly. Now, let's move on to our main video. And now let's look at the points you need for full-fledged work in trading. The very first thing you need to do is dedicate at least 2 hours to trading about 3 times a week. So, if you spend 2 hours 3 times a week, you'll be able to become a full-fledged trader. And that can happen in just 2 weeks or even a month. There's nothing difficult about it. The most important thing is to practice. Second, you need to find your own strategy. Yes, we can work with you using the ready-made tools we have on Pocket Option. We can use pre-made indicators. We can work with the indicators we have on TradingView. Or, we can simply copy. For example, trading signals. With us, you can see every day there's a trading session in our elite community. So people there just copy our trades and make money from them. Another option for independent trading is our trading robot. You'll also find a lot of videos about it on this channel. So make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel to see more opportunities for making money. So we decided on the timing. We decided that we need a strategy. And let's take a look at an example of a ready-made strategy. For example, I choose the euro to US dollar currency pair, and notice that there are no volumes at the bottom here. Accordingly, we can now open a sell trade. Let's make sure of that once more. Let's move our indicator a bit, and we can see that there really are no volumes here. So, at about this level, we can now open our sell trade. Let's select only the euro to US dollar currency pair, and accordingly, we can open our sell trade right from here. Let's watch it for a bit. This is just an example of a strategy. So here I did a quick analysis on TradingView using volume, with horizontal volume. This is an indicator that's available to all of you on this platform. Here, you just need to type in volume profile and, accordingly, select the one from this author. And then, simply open trades in the direction where there are no volumes. If the volumes are high, then the price will linger there for a long time. Let's watch this trade. And as you can see, this trade brings me $1,400. So, such a simple analysis gave me a good profit. How do you even develop such strategies? How do you know that this is your strategy? Look, it's actually very simple. You need to pick 3 strategies. Let's split the screen into 3 strategies. Here we'll have strategy number 1. Here we'll have number 2, and here number 3. Accordingly, in each strategy, you need to open at least 10 to 20 trades. So next you realize that, for example, with the first strategy, you take any indicator or level and see that this strategy gives you, say, 40% profitable trades. So for now, we put a cross on it. We don't work with this strategy. The second strategy gives you 65%. So here you understand that you can more or less work with this strategy. And, for example, the third strategy gives you as much as 85% profitable trades. So you realize this will be your main strategy, and the other secondary and needs work. Here, nothing needs improving. These are good percentages. And that strategy, you throw it out. So you replace it, for example, with strategy 1.2, and accordingly, the second version of this strategy gives you, say, 70% profitable trades. So now you already have 3 ready-made strategies that help you work. On different days of the week, you'll be using different strategies, but the most important thing is that you need to open 10 trades and see how many positives you get with each. So, if you start testing and, for example, you get a loss, another loss, and another loss. At this point, never give up, because after that you might get a streak of wins. So for instance, you only have 3 losses, and then you get 7 wins. So here we have 70% profitable trades. That is, this is a very good result. So if your series of trades starts out with losses when you're testing a strategy, that's normal. It happens. You could say it's your trial. If you get a win, a loss, a win, a loss, you still need to look at the bigger picture. That is, look at 10 to 20 trades. I hope that's clear now. And now that you have a ready strategy, let's talk about what to do next. The next thing you need to understand when you have a finished strategy is risk management. If you start out, For example, risking 1% per trade, but then suddenly start opening trades with 30% of your capital, you won't be able to make money here. So here, you need to find your own percentage. I recommend using between 5 and 15%. These are the percentages where you'll be able to feel whether your balance is increasing or, if anything, decreasing. But again, that's only when you have a solid strategy. If you're still testing, if you're still at that stage, then use between 3 and 5%. Here, you also won't lose much, but you'll be able to feel whether the strategy works or not. Because even at 65%, you'll already be in profit, and you'll see that, yes. Don't like the strategy visually, but the numbers will speak for themselves. The next thing you need to know about equipment. Many people think that in trading you absolutely need 3 big monitors and a super powerful computer, but that's not true. In modern trading, it's enough to have just a mobile phone, for example, and our bot. So even with the bot, for example, you get a signal from it, pick any currency pair, and simply copy it from your phone. So at the very beginning, to get started, a phone is really all you need. Still, I recommend you at least buy some kind of laptop, so you can work from anywhere. But the most important thing we need is a stable internet connection. Because if your internet is unstable, you want to enter a trade to go short here, and so you open a trade at this point. It might look like a good entry point, but then the price starts moving in the opposite direction, and as a result, you end up opening the trade at the very bottom just because your ping is too high, so you need to be careful about that as well. The most important thing is a stable internet connection, and then comes the laptop. If you already have all that, then sure, it would be great to have 2 big monitors, but for now, you don't need anything more than that. And after that, I recommend you just keep practicing, and not sit in front of the chart 24/7. Make sure to take breaks. That means you need days off when you don't trade at all, when you don't pick a currency pair, but instead take a complete break from the charts. And it's also better not to spend the whole day at the computer. Just take care of your health. And accordingly, when you start working, when you begin testing strategies, you'll start to realize, okay, today the market is bad, so I won't trade here. Or on the contrary, you come in and see that today is a good opportunity to trade, and accordingly, you follow your 2-day plan. Let's say your goal was to make plus 10% in 2 days, and you managed to achieve it in just 1 day. That's it. You can go take a break. You've got a 10% gain on your deposit. Some people set a goal to make plus 50% in 2 days. That's also possible, but only with experience. And as I showed earlier, with ready-made strategies, if you have them, it won't be hard for you to double or even triple your deposit. This is basically the most important thing you need. Let's go over it one more time. The very first thing is time. 2 hours a day, 3 days a week. When you stick to these conditions, that's good. Next, find a strategy. A strategy that gives you at least 70% winning trades. That's great too. The next thing is a stable internet connection. If you have a stable internet connection, know that that's already awesome. And you won't have situations where the price just goes against you. And as a result, because of the internet, your entry price ends up being really low. Even though there aren't really any internet problems nowadays, there are still some providers like that. This is a more specific thing. They might offer good speed, but at the same time, the ping could be really bad. So pay attention to that as well. And then, it's just about practice. In other words, we practice and don't take big risks. We stick to risk management, but keep risks in the range of 5 to 15%. So, if you stick to these 4 factors, you'll be able to earn steadily. If you want a ready-made strategy or want to get a consultation from our managers, then go ahead and follow the link in the description and send us a direct message right now. We can also provide you with a trading robot that will work automatically for you and only give you ready-to-use signals. We can also add you to our elite community where you'll be able to copy our trades. And we can also offer you personal mentorship. In short, we have a lot of tools for beginner traders that will help you make money in trading. If you're interested, if this resonates with you, then follow the link in the description and start working with us. We have many years of experience and a large team of professionals. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, give it a like, and see you soon.